Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. My name is Arina Amira binti Abdul Rahim and my teammates are Nur Nabila binti Rosman, Sabrina Alia binti Abdullah and Nur Fatiha binti Azhan. And for today, we are going to present about Islamic letter of credit, which is also known as wakalah, which is one of the Islamic instruments. And now I'm going to explain about the definition, characteristics and types of Islamic letter of credit. The definition of Islamic letter of credit can be defined as a financial document issued by a bank or financial institution at the request of its client, where client is usually a buyer or importer. This is to guarantee payment to a third party who is usually a seller or exporter for goods or services. This instrument serves as a commitment by the issuing bank to make a payment to the beneficiary, which is the seller, upon the presentation of specified documents and compliance with the terms and conditions outlined in the letter of credit. The characteristics of Islamic letter of credit are: first is profit and loss sharing, second is payment certainty, underlying asset, as well as risk sharing. So what are these characteristics? Islamic letters of credit operate on profit and loss sharing principles. It avoids fixed interest by distributing profits and losses among involved parties. They ensure clear payment terms for sellers, aligning with Islamic finance principles. Transactions supported by these letters of credit are tied to tangible assets or services, adhering to Sharia compliant practices. So both buyers and sellers share transaction risk, emphasizing fairness in financial outcomes. And these features highlight the core principles of Islamic finance, where it emphasizes ethical and transparent practices and avoiding interest and encouraging equitable risk sharing in commercial activities. Now the types of Islamic letter of credit, where it includes wakalah letter of credit. In this type, the issuing bank acts as an agent, which is a wakil, on behalf of the buyer, ensuring that the seller receives payment according to Sharia compliant principles. Next type is murabahah letter of credit, where this type involves a cost plus financing arrangement. The bank purchases the goods on behalf of the buyer and then sells the thing to the buyer at a markup price. The buyer then repays the bank in agreed installments. And the last one is musyarakah letter of credit. Musyarakah is a form of partnership. So in this context, the bank and the buyer enter into a joint venture to purchase goods. So profits and losses are shared based on the agreed upon terms, aligning with Islamic finance principle.
So this is the flow of the Islamic letter of credit, which is wakalah. So there is 7 steps. So let's get to the further explanation. Okay, hi and assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Nabila binti Rosman. Now I would like to explain full flow of Islamic letter of credit.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Amira binti Abdul, and today I will continue about the modus operandi of wakalah letter of credit. So these are the next steps of modus operandi that I will share it to you and explain.
Okay, firstly, the customer, which is Ratu, with an LC issuance facility, applies for an LC and places deposit with the Islamic bank, which is Bank Islam. In other words, Ratu has a deal with a Bank Islam to use their LC service. When Ratu needs a letter of credit, they ask the bank to create one, and to make sure Ratu will fulfill the promise, Ratu will give some money to the bank to ensure that if Ratu doesn't fulfill their end of the deal, the bank still has some money to cover the promised payment. Okay, secondly, the Islamic bank, which is Bank Islam, issue the LC and collect LC issuance commission. In simple terms, Bank Islam make a promise to pay on behalf of Ratu by issuing the LC, and in return, they charge a fee for providing this service, known as the LC issuance commission. Okay, so thirdly, the advising or the confirming bank in the Putri, which is the beneficiary country, advises the LC. So, in a simple terms, Putri's bank in her country is letting her know about the letter of credit, where it giving her a heads up that she is about to receive some money through this financial arrangement. Okay, so fourthly, the beneficiary, which is Putri, submits documents under the LC to the negotiating bank, which is Katy United Bank. So, in other words, Putri provided necessary paperwork to Katy United Bank as part of the process to get the money promised in the letter of credit. So, the bank needs this document to make sure that everything is in order before releasing the fund to Putri.
So, let's begin. After the beneficiary seller present those documents and the LC to the Catholic United Bank, which is the negotiating bank, they will present those documents to the agent issuing bank, which is Bank Islam. So, if those documents from the Catholic United Bank, which is the national bank, they presented to Bank Islam, which is agent issuing bank, and if those documents are in order or good or without having any less problems, so the Bank Islam will settle the claim less without any charges. So, after the documents have been settled, later the beneficiary will ship the goods to the customer, which is Ratu. And that's all for me. Next, I will pass it to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Fatihah. Now I'm going to continue this presentation with a sharing about 4 essential elements for Wakalah Islamic Letter of Credit ILC. The first essential element is contracting parties, who involve applicant, beneficiary, issuing bank and negotiating bank. Second essential element is subject of matter, which is the goods bought by the customer. Third essential element is form of contract, whereby the bank that act as the agent issue the ILC on the behalf of the buyer. Four essential elements is say'ah, which is the offer and acceptance that must be absolute and easy to understand. Based on the previous modus operandi on Wakalah Islamic Letter of Credit ILC, the contracting parties are first Ratu as the applicant, customer, buyer and importer. The second contracting party is Putri as the beneficiary, seller and exporter. The third contracting party is Bank Islam as an issuing bank, which is the bank that acts as the agent to issue the ILC on behalf of the buyer. Fourth contracting party is Qatar United Bank as the negotiating bank, which is the bank that presents the ILC and claim the reimbursement.